Humble my game, yeah. Family friendly. I play the game, yeah. And touch the milli.
Get your exclusive Ecomi, VeVe, and Omi merch at CavellAnderson.com. Limited edition 100 items drop while supplies last.
Got them dizzy. We pass the moon, yo. We gon' keep winning. Red dreams come true. For me and you. Ecomi did it, yeah. With the crew. I'm talking.
Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another VeVe and Ecomi video. You all have been requesting that I do a little short form content, getting straight to the point of some of these longer form videos. So that's exactly what we're doing in this one. I'm going to cover a lot of the key moments that we went over throughout this interview with David Yu, and we're going to start off with a banger. So be sure to drop a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, turn on notifications so you stay updated with everything going on, and let's just jump straight into it.
Yeah, me and Dan, we never thought it would be as big as today. I mean, just to give you a scope of thing, we were hoping, you know, by end of this year, and we're coming up to December, end of December this year, we're hoping to have about 65,000 users.
Okay. How many have you got?
Everything we minted or produced is really catered for that 65,000 audience. And we have over about 2 million downloads. An active user every month is about sitting at 1.1, 1.2 million. And that number's just rising every single day.
So this was massive information that we have never heard before. We've never heard a number that big. We were under the impression that we were just hitting 1 million, but it seems like we have 2 million downloads, and now we finally hit that 1.1, 1.2 million users active range. So this is insane. This is great information, and it gives us a lot of insights into what's going on and how fast this project is actually growing. So that being said, let's jump into the next part. All right, y'all. So at this part, David is actually going to be jumping into some of the big brands coming on board when it comes down to VeVe. He's just going to hint at something in this part, but it is interesting, his take on the NFT space, and it lets you know his understanding of NFTs as a whole in the entire space. It's there. He studies this, he watches this, he truly understands what's going on, and you're about to learn that in this one, because I know a lot of you all are maybe new to NFTs and new to collecting and things like that, but NFTs are much bigger than this, and he knows this. So we're going to jump into it right now.
Yeah, I mean, number one, you need to believe in this space. And number two is whatever you do have to be relevant. I mean, there's no point to jump on the bandwagon because the NFT is the buzzword. I mean, it's not relevant in many other industries, but there's much better use than, you know, outside art as the NFT. You know, there's, you know, you never know. Car ownership, house ownership could be on an NFT type of document, smart contract. Yeah. There will be, you know, where we really believe in is that the avatar, these figures that you own, digital figure, maybe it's a representative of you in a digital world, and that's your ID, and that's how you're going to get around and navigating through that world. So there will be many different type of level of usage and fan engagement. We, you know, I really do believe that more and more company will be getting into this space. We have a lot of new partners we haven't announced that you would never thought they will want to be getting into this NFT or Metaverse or this digital space.
All big companies?
They all multinational. I mean, some of these companies have hundreds of years, you know, in the industries.
Think now this is massive information that he's revealing right now. There's things coming that's massive that people will not believe, and they just dropped Disney. What has been around 100+ years? Like, just start thinking. Let me know in the comment section, what do you feel this could be, some of what he's talking about? But this is massive right now. This is gems.
Already industry leaders in, you know, consumable goods, multinationals.
But so here's.
So yeah, this was a great portion. We're gonna jump straight through into the next one that I thought was a very, very key moment here. And yeah, let's get it. So this moment here is kind of just a breather. This is David kind of explaining how he was looked at before versus how things are now. So let's jump into it.
No, I think the entry barrier into this is not as big as people think. If you're willing to learn, if you're willing to understand, and I think number one is you need to believe in it. I mean, if people don't believe in the digital asset, people, possibly my parent, now they a little bit more believe into it. But prior to it, when I was trying to sell them the idea, they didn't get it. But now they got it because things have changed and it's happened now.
So they're not saying you're crazy anymore.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one stage they did tell me to go seek medical advice. I promise you. They thought, they've been to my store, they've seen the cards I sell, trading card. They thought, well, you're going to another level that we don't understand anymore.
So yeah, I just thought that this part right here was pretty funny, that this is where he started at, and to see what's happened today. I know a lot of the people who were thinking that way about him today, then actually regrets that today. So let's move on to the next part. All right, y'all. So in this part, David actually drops some major bombs. In this one, he's going to be mentioning Amazon. He's going to be mentioning Elon Musk. He's going to be mentioning SpaceX. He's going to be talking about some of the people that he looked at and the companies that he looked at and studied in order to get VeVe to where it's at. So all the Amazon comparisons and things like that, it's coming full circle right now, where just watch it. Just watch it.
No, we still have a big dream. We got a lot happening in the organization, and the scalability, how we want to grow dynamically, and there are a lot of market we want to go into that we know in yet.
Is there a future for retail?
Yeah, I do believe that if you look at Amazon, and I do watch a lot of video what Amazon does, or even Jeff Bezos and other entrepreneur out there, because I get inspired on how they think, the vision. And when Amazon start acquiring retail business, Walgreens, you really think they really turn that business, and they understand how you can connect the two segments together and connect that and make that work like an ecosystem. I do believe a lot of the retail business will go into digital goods as an offering, whether through their e-commerce website or a redemption to drive users into the retail store to bring footfall.
Does that mean for you, you're going to do more in digital, or you might actually see you going back into retail as well?
We will definitely see a lot of opportunity where there will be a day-to-day release with a physical and the digital coming together as a bundle of a product to go out. And we are working with companies, brands, license to see how that experiment will work. Because at the end of the day, the retail sector, it is a very important sector in our day-to-day living.
Beyond Amazon, brands that inspire you on a daily basis.
Brands and company that inspire me are the one that's really pushing the boundaries. So Tesla, Elon, some of his vision going into space. Because these people don't have to do it. They don't actually have to be a market leader in doing any of these, but they choose to. They choose to lead because they are curious what's out there in the other side.
So this is giving you some insights into how David Yu thinks, how he sees the world, and who he looks up to and who inspires him. And I think that this is why he's able to be such an inspiration to us, because he's looking up to these great people who have accomplished these great things. And I don't even know if he's noticed what he's doing right now, but he's that for us. This is what he's doing, and he's leading our market here. So this is actually insane. It's insane to hear this, and it's very bullish hearing this come from him, in my opinion.
And I think that is what one of the things keep myself and Daniel improve ourselves and drive this business. Even though every single door was closed on us and everyone say, no, we don't think this is going to go well, we really believe in it in our heart, and seeing it work now, it's quite fulfilling.
So yeah, there we have it. That's the end of this segment of it. We're going to move on to the next part here. The next part is interesting. We're going to be moving into some Metaverse talk. So yeah, let's jump straight into that. All right, y'all. So here we are here, and we're going to jump straight in. Let's get it.
Sleeping giants in the meta world beyond meta, like who?
I think there will be a lot of, I think most people are already in the meta first.
Studios, brands.
Brands already kind of already moving into that. I do believe all the big company will come out. I do believe that Amazon will have their own metaverse. I do believe Tencent will have their own one, same as Meta with Facebook. I think most of these corporations will have different type of layer, and gaming company already been doing this for a long time.
They have.
It's actually nothing new. But what's all about is I really do believe that it's about the community. You do need to have a very strong community want to participate in that.
And look at the VeVe community. Regardless of who you hate, who you love, regardless of any of that, look at this community. It's amazing how, look at the energy that's in this community right now. Let's not even talk about how amazing the product is, how amazing the team is, their accomplishments or anything like that. Take a look at this community and how upset you get about things, how happy you get about things, how together we are. Like the second that someone else outside of this community attacks the community, how everybody stands together. Like he has built this, like this is built, and it's all part of a design that he's understood from the beginning. When you talk about a living visionary, this is what we're seeing. We're witnessing a visionary right now. And honestly, I'm honored to be in a community led by him, to be completely honest with you. I love it.
Otherwise, you're just building a metaverse.
Yeah. There's a clear answer that you have to build depth, right?
Correct.
And engagement and the like. Now, some loved projects that you have right now, which are probably on VeVe, that you wanted to share with.
All right, so this is jumping into a different part outside of the metaverses. He gave a little bit of insights on his metaverses. Last here, we're gonna be jumping into the impact of gaming and how David understands where this is going. I know that it's always marketed as, oh, VeVe is not a gaming play, it's all about collectibles and things like that. But they have actually said multiple times that the collectibles are a byproduct, and the big play here is the metaverse. And most metaverses are big in gaming, especially with the IP that VeVe has. It doesn't really make sense for the metaverse to be anything else but gaming, because it's all about the experience. And what's going to give you an experience with a bunch of toys and unicorns and stuff like that? The only thing that's going to make you want to buy a unicorn, if you're not a 70-year-old girl, it's going to be like, it's going to be a fun game attached to it. So gaming is massive. So we're going to jump into this aspect of the video. All right, y'all, we're here, so we're going to jump straight in.
Evolve to a point ahead of your expectations, which creates an obligation,
correct,
to fulfill its potential, which is quite extraordinary, right?
Well, it's a commitment. So for any teens out there, your action will lead to that commitment, and if you commit to it, you give your hearts to it, and we do, and I do, our team does. So we'll continue to build it out, to roll it out. And this is just really at the start of it, by the way.
Yeah, so 2022 VeVe, what are we going to see at, like, your dream for next year, which I'm sure will be exceeded? What are we going to, what's the community going to see?
Well, number one is we talked about the web base. And the web base is a big part in our development coming. And number two is we have spent a great deal of time this year trying to scale, because as I mentioned to you, the app was designed for 65,000 people.
Yeah, and you got 1 million actives.
Yeah. So we did spend a lot of time, and we got a lot of.
And I just want to point out, they have 1 million active users on an app that was designed for 65,000, and people are upset because they're not hitting every timeline perfectly when their timeline is based off of having 65,000 people. So it's a lot of stuff that the community gives VeVe slack for, not realizing what they're doing is unheard of. Like what they're doing, they should be out of business. How can they actually manage to keep up, have a team built for 65,000 people, have a plan and strategy built for 65,000 people, yet they have over a million active users and 2 million downloads, and they're still somehow managing to make this work? Like a lot of us, if we had our own business that just came out of nowhere and started doing numbers like this, we would not have the slightest idea what to do, how to get ahead of this. We would probably go under being in their position, and they're making it seem like it's too easy, to the point where people are complaining. Like it's not like they're it's insane when you really think about what they're out here accomplishing.
A program that we're running for our collectors out there. You know, in the gaming world, it's called organized play. So in our digital world, it's called Master Collectors Program. For us, is to bring more utility value to our audience, and how we integrate that into whether it's Metaverse or gaming platforms and so on, or vice versa. The gaming aspect is going to be a big part.
I want to make sure you all heard what he just said. Whether it's metaverses or gaming platforms. I don't know if you saw my video the other day where I was talking about Pixion, and I showed you all the gaming company that is confirmed that they are working with. But that being the very first VeVe, he just said it. So I didn't want that to slip past you. The emphasis that he just made on gaming, and then he separated metaverses and gaming. So the metaverse side, it seems that he has a different vision for the metaverse and gaming side, which would suggest two different things. Otherwise, that would have just been encapsulated into when he just said metaverse. It would have included gaming already. Something to think on.
Into whether it's Metaverse or gaming platforms and so on, or vice versa. The gaming aspect is going to be a big part. And also, the collectible that you've seen in our season 1, what we brought out in January this year, and what we have today, when you put the two together, you can clearly tell the technology that we have gone. We got other sectors that we want to enter into. So I think right now we have covered, the comic book, the collectibles. We are moving into new categories, and next year will be a quite big one. And next year is only 40, 50 days away. So
it is.
All right, y'all. So that was the end of it. This was the most valuable information that I found in this throughout this whole thing. Let me know how you all feel about this. This was big, but I definitely would say this is worth the watch. If you're just chilling, you got some time on your hand, go ahead and watch the full thing. It is very interesting, and just hearing David talking his passion, it's always going to make you bullish, because you get this feeling that, okay, this man really knows what he's talking about. He truly has a vision and understands stuff that we don't even think to even try to understand just yet. And it gives you a little bit more comfort in your investment. So I definitely would recommend this. Is a great watch. But yeah, be sure to drop that thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you stay updated. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, Joe.